I foresee future pool party underneath some beautiful palm trees. Look at that. Oh, look. It's going to be a pool hopping party. There's 2 of them here. Look at this. So I'm up here in Sacramento. Hey, you guys, do you have any idea who people should hire to build beautiful swimming pool backyards if they live near Sacramento?
I would say Red Leaf Developments.
Oh, who's that?
Red Leaf Developments.
Awesome. And who are you?
I'm Justin Morgan.
Right on. And you're like the pool guy here?
Pool plumber, yep.
Right on. And you love Steamworks beer, of course?
Steamworks.
From Durango, Colorado. Yeah. And Dan?
Daniel Baker.
Any comment?
It's always fun.
Red Leaf is awesome.
Love being out here. Yeah.
Why is Red Leaf so awesome?
Commitment to excellence, I'll say that.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice,
Yeah.
nice. All right. Well, they've got some beautiful podocarpus graciliae. I suppose that's going to be a privacy screen.
Yep.
Where are the palms going?
In between, there will be one in each of the back corners and then one directly in the middle.
Nice, right on. You need some timber bamboo right in front of that big giant.
I know it. Yeah. I think that's probably the.
That might be in
behind
the
palm.
future. Yeah. All right. Well, I kind of wanted to show off what social utopia looks like.
Sure.
When I'm looking at this neighborhood with this really high density. I'm 52 and I still think I could jump from roof to roof here. But so it's a pretty close configured. You really have to hope that the neighbor that moves in next door is someone you really, really like. But you guys were saying, what's the budget for the neighborhood?
I think it starts out at like 1.5 mil to 2.3 is what I heard.
All right. But then once you guys get here, that doubles, right?
Yeah, I'm sure there's a little bit more value.
Just the name itself. Yeah.
Right. All right. Well, thanks, guys, for buying some palms. I'm going to go take a tour of the neighborhood. And I would love for you to shoot me some photos someday when this is all done, because I just can't get enough of this kind of thing. All right. Keep up the good work, guys. All right. Let's go take a look at this. It's an interesting layout for a new neighborhood. I would suppose this probably was farmland, and it sadly has now become paved over permanently. But it is an interesting layout. You've got your little patios. What's interesting here is obviously we're like in one of the worst droughts known to mankind, recently anyway, and we have funny little patches of lawn. This stuff needs to be watered every freaking day here in Sacramento. And so, I'm all about lawn where you really need it, where you can play sports and it'll be highly utilized. But I'm usually not about lawn in small, tiny little patches, unless you just like to lay on it, like with your, bathing suit on a warm day. Of course, they have a pool, so they don't really need that. So anyway, hopefully we'll get to the utopian part of civilization where we don't put these dumb little lawns in. There's so many cool plants you can plant with all kinds of coloration. But anyway, let's not comment so much on that. I mean, look, you could just have a patch of lantana, right? I mean, who doesn't like lantana? It pretty much blooms all year. Just a nice little ground cover. Doesn't use hardly any water. In fact, you could stop watering that plant after a couple of years and it still won't die. The lawn will die within a matter of a week or two. So what's interesting here, I'm not sure if these buildings are attached, but they have created, it's an interesting layout in this neighborhood. They've created this back area, which I think is really cool and intriguing, and it really works for space-wise. And it kind of gets all the sort of semi-ugly things into the back, pushes the buildings all the way up. You only have about 3 or 4 feet between the roadway and your garage, and everyone else's garage are back there. So, but then what that allows is more creative communal space on the other side. So we're going to show you that. It looks like some people on the outer edges of this development have their own backyard. And then there are others who live in the communal zone. And here it is here. It's more like a park. I'm not sure if these people actually have their own backyard or if they just kind of share backyards with others. And so we can get a quick little tour of what this is like. Doors open. It says sold, but you never know. We can maybe make a deal on this one. Pretty nice. We're not really going to go in all the way. Look, white. That's what my wife wants to do. She wants to rip out everything we put in 20 years ago that we ourselves selected and replace it with stuff that looks just like this. White, like a hospital white. Whatever, got to keep the ladies happy with their renovations. I personally, it's breaking my heart because I remember how much it cost to put all that stuff in originally. But look at that. That's a really striking door. So they've gone with the kind of modern architecture here. And you see they do have little side yards back here. Not much, but I guess it's half and half right down the middle here. They haven't built a fence. I guess it's a communal side yard. That's kind of an interesting proposition. But I guess that's not orange. Is that yellow? And another communal side yard. There's one gate. Seems to have to be friends. It looks kind of like Greece a little, doesn't it? The blue sky and the white. So I would argue that this is a great spot. I mean, look, this is really fun. I mean, look at this. This is incredible. I love that. Love the concrete table. Seems to be missing a bench. Not sure why. Maybe you do food prep standing up there. Maybe that's wheelchair accessible on that side. You've got some nice chairs that are bolted to the ground. And this is a really good drought-tolerant solution for this space. Now, obviously, these people probably will have children unless they're outlawed here. And if they do, it might have been nice to have a big patch of lawn. If they took all the little lawns out and put them all together, it would be critically big enough to have some sports activities on. And I think, in a communal area, which I think would be really good. So let's just keep wandering here. Beautiful arbor with wisteria. That's going to look incredible. I have no idea what I'm going to see here. Okay, now here's the little soccer field I'm looking for. This is pretty fun. Remember, social utopia. That's what we're all after through architecture and land planning. This is obviously functioning as a retention basin. What I mean by that is that all the drains probably funnel to here. This is the low spot. And, if there's a huge deluge, I'm not sure how the water's getting here, but it looks like we have weep holes in the bottom of these bricks. I'm not sure if that's what's transmitting the drainage into this area, but it is a low spot, so they must have created some means to get the water here. These drainage pockets are kind of everywhere. So I presume that there's kind of a subdrain in there, and everything drains to the subdrain, and then the subdrain drains out into the low spot, and that's your water basin. So it could potentially flood and rain, and then it gets metered out through the drain here. So that's kind of a new thing. Beautiful roses, nice quaint streets, interesting parking slots intermixed with protruding planters. You have some really nice bike racks here, and looks like it keeps going. It's a one-way street, which is kind of nice. I do like the concept, boxwood hedges. I really like the fact that the sidewalk is separated from the street. That's really important for safety and also for aesthetics. What else am I saying? You have some beautiful drought-tolerant cork oaks right there, and it's a pretty nice development. So I'm glad to see that they do have a communal lawn area in the middle. It's really not quite big enough to have an effective soccer game on. I think that's kind of a missed opportunity. But this is a real intriguing neighborhood. They've got a little park down there. I don't want to give away the identity of children playing it, so I won't go over there, freak out the parents. But anyway, if you're wondering about this neighborhood, I'm going to tell you what it is in just a moment. I wonder where the drainage goes. It'd be interesting to see how drainage is managed on this site. But it looks like the name of this development is Sunset Park. And it's going to be a little social utopia. And yeah, Sunset Park right there. And I'm sure they'd love to sell you a home if you happen to have at least $1.5 million, not to include the cost of the landscape that you might decide to put in. So we can snoop on little people. So there's a couple little backyards, gates open. There's that funny little patch of lawn. I guess if you have a dog and he needs to poop, that's what you need. And yeah, it's interesting though, huh? Okay, that's it. And I guess I will leave you with some kind of beautiful thing that'll take us full circuit back to the point of origin. Lantana instead of grass, because the butterflies love it.